staff should have a say in terms of how things are being done, because the business needs to go forward together, and you cannot just put pressure by delegating decisions. That would be unfair.
So Frode, how can a company fix an issue it has by sharing it with the staff?
So the staff, in fact, today has a much more balanced relation with employers, especially with the younger generation coming into the workforce. So you will have a request for transparency and honesty from top management, because you also have other ways of verifying what comes out, in fact, in terms of communication. So the first thing is to share the information with staff. And by doing that, you can also then engage a conversation around issues that you may have in your company, which is more authentic and which is more constructive on the mid to long term.
Would this not put unnecessary stress on the staff, thus hindering their capability to work?
Well, you know, Kees, what is important, I think, is to have that authentic dialogue. And by doing that, in fact, you don't put pressure, you give more empowerment to staff. You give them the opportunity to have an impact on their own professional destiny by engaging in the dialogue every day. So it's not about pressure, it's about roles. Top management decides, of course. Staff should have a say in terms of how things are being done, because the business needs to go forward together, and you cannot just put pressure by delegating decisions. That would be unfair. You should, however, share information and go forwards on that basis.
So Frode, what is smart sizing and how does it go hand in hand with corporate culture?
So the culture of a company has a lot to do with how you reorganize your company, how you change your company, and how it evolves. And smart sizing is about combining technology, ethics, and a good strategic plan when you change your company. If you're able to combine these three elements, so having the data on your staff, and not only the financial data or the marketing data, having an ethical approach which foresees transparency in information, not making promises you cannot keep, having a plan which is relatively clear from the beginning of visualization also of the future state and where you want to go, and then having a good, let's say, pace in your change, because very often change is too slow, contrary to what you hear perhaps, but suffering is very, very strong when you have a strong change in a company, and the longer it takes, the more social costs you have, the more impact you have on individuals in the company, those that leave and those that stay. And of course, the more friction you will have with representatives of staff like trade unions, media issues you may have also, and with different stakeholders of the company.
So what is the role of the CEO? Should they be at the forefront of the problem, or should they be focusing on the future?
So I think the CEO's role should be broad, and it should stay broad. You cannot focus on one single issue, and change management is really complex. So the CEO should be able to focus on the future by giving guidance in the beginning, being challenged in the beginning also, by the way, on is this the right thing to do, and is it the right way to do it, and to be a sponsor of the change. But you should really have a combination of savvy people internally, externally, to manage a change. Smart sizing is also about accompanying the change throughout the cycle, and therefore also to get the results that you expected at the end of the cycle. By doing this, you will enable the CEO to look forward and not to be hampered by the issues that are more operational very often, or tough issues that are not well prepared in terms of decision. And then you will enable HR to be better in charge, to have a support also perhaps from external people that are able to help them. And they will also be then trained after this on the new way of working, and they will be able therefore to have a sustainable change and not only a one-off exercise which then ends with something which is not that perfect for the future.
Well, thank you, Frode, for coming in the studio. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today.
Thank you, Kees, for having me.
And thank you at home for watching. Don't forget to click back to Dukascopy TV for more interviews like this. Goodbye for now.